General Petraeus, first of all, it's great to see you again. Thank you so much for doing this.
Good to see you, Katie.
How frustrated are you?
Well, we are frustrated, and certainly folks on Capitol Hill are frustrated, and the ambassador and I mentioned once or twice that we certainly share that. This has been an exceedingly difficult endeavor. The ambassador used the word hard again and again, and it is an accurate description. But we have enormous national interests in trying to get this as right as we can, and that's what keeps us pushing forward, obviously.
When violence goes up, you can't withdraw because things are getting worse. When violence decreases, you can't withdraw because things are getting better, and you want to hold on to that. Do you sometimes feel as if you're in a catch-22 situation?
Well, we are bringing the forces down very, very substantially, and in part, of course, because of the reduction in levels of violence to levels not seen for
but you know what I mean. You can't do it too precipitously.
Well, that's the key.
Because it's fragile, as you yourself have said.
That is exactly right. The key is recognizing that the gains, the progress is fragile. It is reversible. We noted that a number of occasions. That notwithstanding, we are taking out over 1/4 of our ground combat forces. 5 of 20 brigade combat teams, 2 Marine battalions, and the Marine Expeditionary Unit. And that's why we recommended that after that there's a period of this consolidation and evaluation, to use Secretary Gates' term, and then to allow the dust to settle a bit. But during that time, certainly conducting the same kind of assessment that guided us in determining what should the battlefield geometry look like at the end of the drawdown of the surge.
There's been a spike in attacks against Americans recently. 16 combat deaths this month. April is on track to be the deadliest month since September. What's going on?
Well, what's going on is an outbreak of violence that was associated with the start of the Basra operations. It is the fraying to a degree of the ceasefire that was one of those factors, as I cited on Capitol Hill, that helped reduce the level of violence that had come down to levels not seen since early to 2005. A considerable measure of progress, but one again that has seen some fraying and tragic losses as a result of that. It's this that, in fact, the government of Iraq now is working to address, to on the one hand, rightly, to stand against weapons in the hands of criminals and militia extremists, but on the other hand, to address what in many cases are the causes of why people join militias in the first place, which generally are lack of opportunity, lack of education, lack of basic services, and so forth.
You told Congress yesterday that you had evidence ready to show that Iran is supporting the recent violence. What role specifically are they playing, and where is the evidence?
Well, the evidence is in the videotapes of interrogation of detainees who were trained, equipped, paid by the Iranian Quds Force, and in some cases directed by them as well. The evidence is in the form of rocket fragments in some cases entire rockets that we have captured in weapons caches or interdicted the smuggling of. It is in the financiers we've detained. It's in the deputy commander of Lebanese Hezbollah Department 2800 who is in detention, who was helping the Quds Force in the training and preparation of these elements. So this is not about intelligence, this is about evidence.
And what are you going to do about it, General?
Well, what we are in fact doing about it is working to interdict these elements, to detain more of them if this continues. We've detained Quds Force officers in Iraq, as you know. And along with our Iraqi partners, we have talked to the Iranians as well. As you know, there have been 3 rounds of talks, one at the ambassadorial level and then others at the sub-ambassadorial level. There's a willingness to do that some more. We would like to certainly see some response.
Finally, General, in our latest poll, 54% of Americans think the war is going badly. More than half, obviously. How can you sustain this effort without more popular support here at home?
Well, what the ambassador and I have tried to do in the past couple of days is to convey forthrightly our assessment of what is going on the ground, the fact that there has been progress, that the trajectory, which was down really 15, 18 months ago, maybe even 9 or 10 months ago, in our view, has been one that has been on an upward slope. It's never as fast as we would like, but it has turned in that regard, and it's something that we obviously want to sustain. We've got to communicate that, but we have to do it in a way that never tries to inflate what the achievements are. I think that what we have provided is a sober, clear-eyed, and accurate assessment, and describe, of course, the important national interests that we have. But ultimately, you have to leave that to the American people, who have to be the judge ultimately, who have to weigh all the different consequences, along with, of course, our leaders.